Central bank occupies a pivotal place in the financial system of any country, and Pakistan is no exception. State Bank of Pakistan, like other central banks, has been performing functions related to currency issuance, monetary policy formulation and implementation, research and development, banker and advisor to the government, overseeing of payment system, regulation and supervision of banking system, and custodianship of the country's forex reserves. The country coming into being without a central bank, as per the Pakistan Monetary System and Reserve Bank Order 1947, the Reserve Bank of India was legally a common institution obligated to manage the currency of Pakistan and to carry on the business of banking in Pakistan till 30th September 1948.
Ford Foundation had said that Pakistan would not be able to set up a bank for at least 3-4 years. And then Quaid Azam contacted my father and he said, this is the problem. He said, give me some time and I'll see what I can do. And after 3 months he said, all right, 1st of July, we will have the opening.
At a time when Pakistan was vulnerable, within a year of its formation, he set up the State Bank in spite of the advice to the contrary by our British advisors at the time, who were running the Reserve Bank of India, which was actually the central bank for Pakistan till the State Bank was set up, which is about almost a year after partition.
So Mr. Jinnah, quite early on after the independence, spotted Mr. Zahid Hussain and mandated him to start working on formation of central bank, which would be called State Bank of Pakistan.
When I read about Zahid Hussain Sahab, I see a giant. All his contributions, what he has been able to achieve is remarkable. And what we are doing pales into insignificance vis-a-vis what he was able to achieve. In a short span, he was from the Audit and Account Service, and he had joined the service much before the creation of Pakistan. And the Quaid, who was a great leader and therefore had a great ability of picking up the right person for the right job also, because this is also a great attribute of a leader. He picked him up, he identified him and picked him up. He was first part of a commission, then he was made our High Commissioner to India, and then brought over back to Pakistan and tasked with the creation of a central bank. And within few months, he did it. It's almost like a miracle. And not only did he establish it, the central bank, he laid such strong foundations for the bank that today we take pride in this institution of ours. And I think there's a great contribution that Zahid Hussain Sahab made in this. And after that, establishing the National Bank of Pakistan, being the first chairman of the Planning Commission, coming up with the first 5-year plan. These are all huge achievements that have been done. I think if one is able to do even one of those in one's lifetime, that would have been enough for an ordinary individual. But he was, as I said, he was a giant, and he was able to achieve so much within such a short span of time.
The dispute on the divisions of Assets and Reserves Bank of India and other conflicts related to the public debt, stringent limits on means and way accounts for Pakistan relative to India. The State Bank of Pakistan had to navigate its way out from a challenging environment on its own. It did not have the trained staff to man them. Financial and banking system was in disarray with the exodus of the businesses, banks and even the trained banking staff from Pakistan.
He was partition committee. He was involved in the partition of assets. In that committee, in which it was to be decided what assets would go to Pakistan.
Daunting tasks he had to put the economy on a stable footing with the banking system. He did a remarkable job. Given the contrast that we have from then to today's market conditions are very, very divergent. I believe he was a pioneer and managed the economy extremely well. So I give a lot of credit to his foundation that he laid for the rest of us.
At the time of its formation, the State Bank of Pakistan neither had any building to house its offices nor sufficient time to construct new premises. Therefore, Victoria Museum building, which now houses the Supreme Court of Pakistan Karachi Registry, was rented from the Karachi Municipal Corporation and swiftly refurbished. The bank was inaugurated on July 1st, 1948 by Quaid Azam, Muhammad Ali Jinnah.
The opening of the State Bank of Pakistan symbolizes sovereignty of our state in the financial sphere. I need hardly dilate on the important role the State Bank will have to play in regulating the economic life of our country. The monetary policy of the bank will have a direct bearing on our trade and commerce, both inside Pakistan as well as with the outside world. And it is only to be desired that our policy should encourage maximum production and a free flow of trade.
Looking back on the evolution and growth of the SBP and the banking and financial sector in Pakistan, it would not be unreasonable to feel a great deal of satisfactions from the successes achieved over the years. There has been many milestones and achievements. Recently, the SBP's endeavors into various new directions such as Islamic banking, agriculture and SME financing, financial inclusion have been widely admired by general public as well as international stakeholders.
Well, in the recent years, the key achievements of the State Bank are, of course, I think the first and the foremost is the establishment of and recognition of the Monetary Policy Committee as an independent body. Previously, we used to have the Federal Finance Secretary also as being a member, and the general perception was that maybe the government was able to somehow sway the decision making. The Monetary Policy Committee has established its credentials as an independent body, and the best part of it is that the bank, even under trying and difficult circumstances, has been able to maintain its reputation as an independent, neutral and professional organization.
State Bank of Pakistan was the first central bank in the world to introduce regulations for microfinance, and today I'm glad that other countries are following Pakistan.
State Bank of Pakistan, together with the World Bank and the United Nations, also launched the Universal Financial Access Initiative, which is expected to accelerate the pace of financial inclusions and is envisioned to serve as a catalyst for improving socio-economic conditions and poverty alleviation.
All stakeholders, after a lot of consultations, have formed a national financial inclusion strategy. State Bank started with the action plan to increase financial inclusion. We, as also envisioned in our Vision 2020, plan to have at least 50% adult population financially inclusive by year 2020.
We all owe a debt of gratitude to the very first governor of the State Bank of Pakistan, Mr. Zahid Hussain. without whose imaginative stewardship and insight into the realm of finance and banking, SBP would not have become a growing institution after its establishment.
He rose from very humble beginnings and he pursued education mostly through the sheer determination and hard work required in undivided India for a young Muslim boy to reach the heights of a civil service, Indian civil service in undivided India.
Mr. Zahid Hussain also headed the special division which was created to deal exclusively and expeditiously with the task of making all arrangements necessary for the commencement of central banking operations within 3 months. The division's endeavour resulted in the promulgation of the State Bank of Pakistan Order on May 12, 1948, as well as the order for the amendment of the Pakistan Order 1947, requiring the Reserve Bank of India to relinquish its role in Pakistan on June 30, 1948. The ambitious program of training of officers in the field of banking was entrusted to the State Bank of Pakistan within 1 month of its establishment. 1 month into the inception of SBP, the Governor, Mr. Zahid Hussain, gave attention to this program, which had critical importance for the future of banking in Pakistan.
Another aspect of it, I think, which was also visionary, was his focus on training. He was very keen that we must train our own cadre, and that is why he established the Institute of Bankers Pakistan. We have now have our own training institute, which is NIBAF. But the foundations were laid by the late Zahid Hussain Sahab.
I think I would call that the highlight of his legacy, that State Bank has been able to continue with the emphasis on training and capacity building of the required human resources to carry forth the conduct of monetary policy and the development of the financial sector as is envisaged.
After spending 5 remarkable years at the SBP, Mr. Zahid Hussain continued to make his contributions towards public duties. As the first chairman of Taxation Inquiry Committee and also the first chairman of Planning Commission Board, in this capacity, he authored the first 5-year plan for Pakistan.
Quality of the first 5-year plan and the second 5-year plan were superb, and a lot of other countries actually copied our plans, which were done during Mr. Zahid Hussain's time, as the model for their own countries.
We have that copy. The entire 5-year plan, it is this thick. It was written by his hand. Every word was written by his hand. Entire, about 400 pages.
Today, as a strong institution built on solid foundations, SBP pays tribute to Mr. Zahid Hussain for his untiring efforts for establishing this institution from scratch. In recognition of his work for the creation of institutions in Pakistan, and especially for laying the foundations of SBP, the State Bank of Pakistan started a lecture series in the name of Zahid Hussain Memorial Lecture on the occasion of its own Silver Jubilee in 1973. Many renowned speakers with international repute have participated in this series. These memorial lectures offer the opportunity to discuss some of the most important and pressing economic issues of our times. SBP has established memorial chairs in economics at public sector universities in the name of the former governors, including Zahid Husain Memorial Chair at University of Karachi. The objective of this chair is to enhance the standard of teaching and research in economics in the country. Today, we are an institution which would surely make Mr. Zahid Hussain proud of his pioneering contributions and our untiring efforts to vitalize the banking and economy of Pakistan.